guys? Welcome back to another episode of Barbell Brigade TV show. It's my first day at school.
TV? We're on TV?
On TV,
dude, that's sick.
I'm Bart at Silent Mike. That's Jordy.
Hi, Mom.
We got Jordy here, and she's really knowledgeable in the carnivore diet. And you've been eating all kinds of meat, eggs, fish. Why do you look so uncomfortable?
I heard your nickname is Ms. Meats.
Let me just say that I'm very proud of my diet. I would like my license plate to be eat meat. It's not available.
I don't know if that's going to be taken broadly the same way as you're trying to put it out.
Absolutely right.
Can you explain what the carnivore diet is and what kind of benefits that you've personally seen from it?
Yeah, so first let me just preface that I'm not a doctor or anything, but I did go through this program called Carnivore Coaching Program through Rivero with Dr. Sean Baker. If you want to check him out, he knows the science, okay?
He deadlifts 500 pounds.
I have a playlist that
He's a doctor.
Yeah, I do have
I think he's a foot doctor, but we can continue.
I have a playlist of doctors on panels actually talking about the science. So I just want to say that whenever I tell people about it, I'm like, hey, educate yourself, because clearly I haven't done the research myself. I can only speak from my experience and my experience with my clients who've decided to opt into doing it, okay?
Cool.
So let me just say that. Now, the thing about carnivore that I think is really cool is it allows your body to kind of reset. So it's very anti-inflammatory. A lot of problems that we have are because of inflammation in the body, and inflammation is caused by, having too many omega-6 oils, so like vegetable seed oils, and too.
What was inflamed on you before?
A lot. Well, I had psoriasis on my eyelid and stuff. That's from, triggered by inflammation. There are a lot of illnesses that are triggered by inflammation in the body. Pretty much that's the source of everything. If you read the book, Why We Get Sick by Dr. Benjamin Bickman, you can look into the science behind that too.
What if you don't know how to read?
Let me just say, okay, Audible has that book as well.
Is this inflamed?
Yes.
No, actually.
I would actually.
Are you carnivore? Nothing on you looks big at
what?
all.
You might need to get that cut off.
Okay.
Amputated.
Fine, keep teaching me about carnivore.
Anyway, it looks like a cyst.
I'm on the sucralose diet.
Yeesh. So, anyway. So, this is boring and I don't like
No, it's
talking
good. It's good.
about
It's
it.
good.
I don't, but
No, it's good. I'm learning about it.
Let me just tell you guys this, okay? It's so simple. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been personally, obsessed with being as healthy and fit as possible. I've done everything. Juice cleanses, vegan diets for several months without, messing up, dedicated fully. The bro diets, the macro tracking diets, the flexible eating. This has been even keto, which is, comparable to carnivore, but it's not. So the thing I want to say about carnivore is it's simple. Your body is no longer inflamed. You get the most, the least inflammation you could possibly have in your body. You reset, whatever's going on with your insulin, whatever's going on with your gut bacteria, whatever is going on, in your body that's causing you to be out of whack or have uncontrollable hunger or not be able to lose weight metabolically, or thyroid issues. So I don't know what my problem was, but I couldn't lose 20 pounds. I would be on the Stairmaster for 45 minutes a day with a 20-pound vest for 6 weeks, didn't lose 1 pound, didn't lose 1 inch. I switched to carnivore, it reset my metabolism, and it really helped me. And I lost about 18 pounds in 2 months. And I kept it off for a year. I've kept it off. So what I like about it is it allows your body to maintain as much muscle as you naturally have while building more muscle. And it also allows you to tap into your fat stores and utilize it for energy. So you're utilizing a lot of the fat you're eating and your fat stores for energy.
Do you have crazy urges before the carnivore diet? You see a Twinkie and you go, oh, I gotta fucking eat that.
Yeah,
no,
we call that fat kid mentality.
Okay, so
I have that.
I'm going to tell you why I have that.
I want a Kit Kat right now.
Let me tell you this. Okay, this is the thing. You crave more of what you eat regularly, right? So if you are constantly having cheat meals or snack days or binge days, or you're restricting and binging and restricting, you're going to constantly always crave that stuff. What happens after about 6 weeks of being on a carnivore diet, I did it very strict. I did Jordan Peterson's daughter's version, the lion diet, where I just had steak and salt and water for 6 weeks to start.
So no eggs?
Nothing.
No salmon?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. I felt so great, but it was so much easier because there are 2 types of people, supposedly. Some people who do better with black and white and this and that and that's it. And some people who do better easing their way into stuff.
There's psychological
component. Yeah, I was gonna say,
you
mean mentally?
I'm a black or white, so I was like, okay, only meat. All right, fine. So it was hard, I'm not gonna lie, but I was never hungry. I was never low energy really. And I stopped craving everything. That's my point. So then my palate was reset, my gut bacteria reset. When I started having eggs, delicious, gourmet, the best thing you could ever have. When I started having fruit, oh my gosh, never do it on an empty stomach because then your insulin spike, there's nothing to balance that out, then you're going to have a bucket of fruit and it's not going to be enough. But if you have it after you're already satiated and you can offset it with like a protein intake, then you're not going to like go as crazy. But the point of that is that basically that tastes like amazing. It tastes better than anything. And then when you have Oreos or you have Twinkies, all you can taste is the chemicals. All you can taste is the preservatives.
So Oreos are bullshit, though. Oreos are bullshit.
I went to Chick-fil-A.
Let's all agree.
I went to Chick-fil-A and I had Chick-fil-A sauce, and I love Chick-fil-A sauce, and I've now conditioned myself to like it again. But I didn't like it when I had it again for the first time because I could just taste. It tasted like
chemicals, or
it tasted like lotion.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was really weird. It was bizarre, and a lot of things were like that. They didn't taste like food anymore.
I don't eat white things, doctor. What's wrong with me?
Racist again.
I don't like mayo and sauce, ranch.
Mayo's delicious.
Well,
I hate mayo.
You don't need sauces. Sauces are like
they're
optional.
gross, right?
Sauces are optional.
What
and
about
Oreos are bullshit.
What about when you first jumped on carnivore? Did you blow out the toilet?
Yes.
For sure, right?
That's what I hear.
So when your gut has to adjust to, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
I have a whole section whenever I coach people on this. Your gut has to adjust to the lack of fiber in your diet and the lack of but your body does absorb a lot more of what you're eating. So people think like, oh, I'm not using the restroom. It's because you don't have to go as often. But you can't trust a fart.
Trust a fart? Why? What happened?
It's not a fart. It's usually
You
a poop.
shitted yourself?
No, I did not.
It sounds like you
I
shitted
did not.
yourself.
I didn't
Why are
take
you
the risk.
smiling?
I will never
Then how would you
admit that on camera.
What is this advice you're giving me?
How would you give us that advice if it didn't personally happen?
Yeah, I thought we were
because-
talking about your experiences.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I listen to a lot of other people's like what to expect, what to be careful about, how to not mess up, how to succeed.
And they all shitted themselves.
No, a lot of people have learned that they don't have gas anymore. So when I took that into account, because people are like, oh, you're probably so gassy because of the protein. A lot of that comes from the fiber in the foods that you're eating, the ultra processed stuff that you can't absorb. It's like a bunch of clogging happening. So if you're absorbing and utilizing and you don't have that, you're actually never gassy.
Bart's kind of farty.
You're only gassy if you're eating other stuff. So the only time you'll notice that you're gassy is if you're having like other things with your protein.
Have you ever had a dog though?
I have a dog. She's the light of my
does your
life.
dog?
Did you eat it?
No. Does your dog
Oh.
ever lay there and then it just goes?
Farts?
And you look at him, and then you're like,
They're silent but deadly.
"You
yeah.
just farted, didn't you?"
Yeah, she does. Often. And I don't know why.
Is she on carnivore?
No, dogs eat shit tons of grains.
Yeah, they have a lot of shit in their food. So if she's,
Not literal shit.
But like pedigree or
it
something.
might be shit.
Probably has all kinds of
Yeah,
like
grains. I think they do eat a lot of corn.
Yeah, they do. So I actually would like to have my dog on a more carnivore
Feed them.
diet.
My mom cooks for my dogs every night. My mom's a psycho.
I do that most days.
She's a psycho.
So,
She like cooks them better food and she'll cook me when I visit.
yeah, so I do that. So what are you saying?
Oh, you're a psycho as well.
Yeah.
That's my
okay.
mother. That's the only person on the planet I love.
Why are you talking about her like this? I feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry, his mom.
So I've done like keto and some things in the past, and I think that if you do feel something's wrong, psoriasis or inflammation, I think, and it's basically just called an elimination diet, and it's been around forever. Doctors used to recommend it, and you take everything away, and you go weeks, and then you slowly add things back. I think that can be beneficial to anybody, because then you figure out what are your triggers. Like
That's
what?
the lion diet. For
Yeah,
you,
yeah. So
right
why
there.
are you so farty? Well, now I'm eating broccoli and then I get psoriasis and I fart all the time, or whatever it might be. And you can figure those things out. Or for a select few, it gets much worse, like a real autoimmune disease or something of that nature. And so I've done those a couple times. I do think I'm those two people you're talking about is interesting. I've never heard that or thought about that. I do better when I'm black and white, but I'm not black and white. So I do better when it's like, don't do this, do that. You know what I mean? And so in that sense, a diet like this, even now, like I do meal prep in a way, and my diet's very similar, actually.
Well, can I say something? Because
Hit me.
I love ice cream. I have a Disneyland food page. So I go to Disneyland all the time, and I will try things that people ask me to try. People look at me and they think, oh my gosh, I could never do that. I can't live. But the thing is, what I do is I have more of like an 80% carnivore now. I'm carnivore adjacent because I don't have any autoimmune disorders. I don't have problems with inflammation or my weight, and I'm very active. I'm constantly releasing whatever sugar I have built up. Like I have an outlet for that. So I take that into account. I give myself a little bit of slack, and I'm cool with that. So that works for me.
They're slamming churros.
I'm slamming ice cream, dude. I can't live without it. It's one of my main food groups. I love ice cream. I have it regularly. And a lot of people think that, but a lot of people think that they have to give up what they love. But it's a matter of, and then I socialize. And when I socialize, I don't really restrict myself. I'm like participating with everyone. I'm not sweating it. But I do look forward to going back to like what makes me feel my best. And I do think that that makes all the difference in the world. But for people who are having problems because they cannot get out of like a bad eating, a way of eating or cravings, they can't get a handle on that, or they're not feeling active or they're tired, I do recommend trying an elimination diet. I do recommend doing it for a period of time and then reassessing, like, how much do I want to go back on it? How much do I want to be carnivore adjacent? How much do I want to? And then if you're carnivore adjacent, you might want to be more lean. Of course, you know, people worry about their cholesterol. You don't really have to worry about that. It gets pretty complex if you're very strict on a carnivore diet. But if you're carnivore adjacent, then you want to go leaner. You know,
like, so you more sirloins rather than ribeyes? Or?
You want to do more like chicken breasts, some fish, you know, you want to do some lean ground beef. You don't want to do like the fattiest stuff if you're also having potatoes and whatever. But the most important thing that could help anybody is eliminating omega-6 oils. So like those are vegetable seed oils, man-made, machine-made.
Canola deals.
Super hot. They have to be heated up super hot. They're made for lubing machinery. They're not made for digestion.
Olive oil, is that?
Extra virgin is arguably acceptable in moderation. But the ones that you want to avoid are like sunflower seed oil, soy oil, canola oil, vegetable
What do you
oil,
cook with?
Cottonseed oil. I don't cook with oil.
I don't really either.
I air fry everything. Yeah. And then whenever I cook, I use butter. Ghee.
I just Traeger up.
But I don't really use any oils, and that helps a lot. But if you can eliminate the oils and you can eliminate the ultra processed foods and the like those kinds of sugars, then you can really help yourself a lot just by doing those two things.
What got you into the carnivore diet?
Because I had been seeking out the best way to help people. I've been helping people for years, and I'm like, why doesn't macro tracking work for people? Like, why isn't it sustainable? Why is it so intimidating or complicated or confusing or overwhelming? I would try to make it as simple as possible, and people still failed long-term at that. So I was like, yeah, it doesn't really work for me either. So when I got into carnivore, I found that to be like a unanimous thing that works for people. I have people right now, a group of 13, and in those like 13 people in 20 days, they managed to lose over 130 pounds cumulatively, working from home, not really knowing anything about lifting between like ages 25 to 50. And it works, and nothing works like this, like nothing. Do you guys still track it? I track them every week, and their feedback is like, wow, Jordy, I don't feel tired anymore. Wow, Jordy, I'm not craving stuff anymore. Wow, I feel strong. I feel motivated to work out now. I'm losing weight. Like, my old pants are fitting me. Like, I can't believe like this and that. Like, and that's the feedback I've always wanted. That only happens short term with people who do macro tracking or juice cleanses or whatever, very short term. This has a long-term positive effect, and it's just like a more, it's just, I think, a healthier way. Like, some doctors claim it's the optimal human diet. I'm actually convinced of it, and I cannot see myself going back to like regular standard American diet or, you know, the way that I was eating before. I'm definitely going to stay more carnivore adjacent for hopefully forever.
I think your advice of like 80-20 is so good, and because so much depends on, I've always said, like, how strict your goals are is how strict your plan needs to be. If you're trying to step on stage and be shredded and see veins on veins, you probably do have to track every grain of rice.
Exactly.
But and if you're 500 pounds and you really got something to do, maybe we got to look at other health issues or whatever. But for the majority of us, we just got to drop a couple, get a little more consistent. Then your plan can be a little bit more 80-20 because it can be more, longevity.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the transition period is hard for people, and that's why I say try to do it and dedicate yourself to it. But then once you get that palate change, you're like, man, I really like basic, simple foods, like single ingredient foods. My biggest tip is stay on the outside of the grocery store. Yeah. That's where all the perishables
Single ingredient foods is big.
Everything on the inside that perishes, it's on the shelves, that's the stuff.
And also wear a diaper.
Yes. Wear a diaper.
Don't trust a fart, someone told me.
Don't trust a fart.
Let us know if you'd ever try the carnivore diet. If you've tried it and you have any experiences, please put in the comments below. We'd love to see how it was for you guys, and see you guys next time. Peace.